that feels weird. Alright. I'm going to try out this brush for varnishing. Oh, what's up, James? Man, this is requiring already a lot of varnish. Because I barely got anything covered. How was your day, James? Hmm. Must have missed that area. Chaos, James. It was pure chaos. Utter chaos. So, like every other day. Alright. to get all those bubbles out. I was hoping this large brush wouldn't cause bubbles. Hey, what's up, Troy? My God, that takes up a lot of varnish. I thought I might have put too much, but I guess not. Whew. Can't really touch that yet. See if I can get my other tank to get painted too. Or varnished, actually. You do. It's been re-base coated. Both of them had two base coats on them, and one of them had a that's already kind of painted a little bit. I'm trying out this new spray paint, kind of new spray paint. Well, it is new spray paint. I've never tried before, but it's a particular brand I use now. So I want to see how does paint act on it, because I have what do you call it? Actually, I spray painted over. It had another silver coating. It didn't quite work out so well, but it had something that I like, and I kind of want to try to recreate that giant. mm, I have other giants too, but anyways, yeah, I just wanted to try out the um, so that looks like the silver. That looks like the shadow. I forgot what I thought they're called. Like one's like silver sterling or something like that. The other one's called like shadow glass or shadow smoke. So I wanted to see, and I have a whole bunch of small models painted too, spray painted. so I could see how it act on, say, maybe a lot smaller surfaces as opposed to the large flat surfaces. Right now I'm varnishing the tanks. The varnish changes the colors a little bit, like it deepens the colors and also makes it a little bit glossy, even though it's a matte varnish. But come to realize that Liquitex actually has an ultra matte varnish, which I'm like, where the hell has that been this entire time? This looks more like a satin or gloss varnish more than a matte varnish. I guess I'm kind of painting out of the screen while I'm just varnishing at the moment. Nothing really too fancy per se. Just make sure you get all the areas. Kind of like my painting technique as I continue. What's up, Randall? As I continue to learn about my own quote unquote painting technique, my own. That's right. I developed my own. Not just a painting technique that I don't know if I own it per se, but just something that I kind of, what do you call it, took from Slap Chop, and instead of contrast paints, I use regular paints. So I don't think it's my own per se, but it's a technique that I use. And with the flat surfaces, and at least with these paints, it's difficult to have like a very large coverage. So I realized what I could do after the fact, after I painted, like the thin layer paint, because you see it pretty well on that one. Like you can see like the colors like fading away from the edges, as though it's like being stripped from the edges on inwards. Alright, that is done. I'm gonna switch it over to the other side. Now if I can find a way to grip the other side without touching that side. There we go, I think I got it. Do y'all, I guess I could ask you guys, do y'all varnish y'all's models? If yes, why? If no, why not? Like, the only reason why I started varnishing my models, because I noticed that at least back in the day, paint would rub off a little bit. And also I watched this video about should you varnish your models, and he did like a test on how many how many times you have to touch your models for the paint to kind of come off. And mind you, it was I think a D&D type model, so it's eating chips and greasy fingers and touching the models. It took a lot, but this was that video that I watched was more recent compared to what I used to when I paint back in the day. So I mean, paint could have changed, then, or paint are maybe are much better now than what they used to be. I'm sure they were. I'm sure they are actually. So I don't know. And why do you varnish? I'll say I varnish because it protects the paint. At least that's my delusion. But at the same time, it actually changes the color to a darker, deeper color. Really strange. Okay. there's a definite hint to the color change. I just got some new water too, so I'm gonna make sure I rub all that varnish off. Man, I did put too much varnish. Although I do have to varnish the barrel next. Oop. And I do it to make the paint safer. That's kind of funny. Whenever he said it, made me think like the paint's afraid and it needs varnish to feel like it's safe in its own house. uh, your own techniques and methods to the hobbyist general tabletop level really not worth if it's not decent and clean somewhat. And clean somewhat reason why I like metal. If you stuff it, you can put it straight in the acetone. I don't know. This is resin, so I noticed that LA Totally Awesome will eat up the resin. And I do have some of my town models in the resin base because I made custom bases, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna put some of those models that has the resin base and put them in the LA Totally Awesome to dissolve the resin base, at least enough to get the models removed. I'm gonna use used LA Totally Awesome products so that I don't waste the new ones. Alright. I gotta let that dry for a bit. I don't really have much working room. Oh, oh man. Ooh. Man, water tastes funny if you don't drink it for a while. This dreadnought, I'm guessing this dreadnought's mostly done. I do have some spots I still have to paint. Like the skull in the back, the little white thing underneath the eagle. Outside of that, I think is oh, and the I forgot to paint that white, the little laser thing up there. And after that, he is done. Um, my my chaplain and chaplain and my adjudicator needs to be. They're almost done. I need to finish them up. Okay. Hopefully that's dry enough I can pick up and paint the barrels, or paint the barrels, varnish the barrels. At least I can hold it underneath. Oops. Human alcohol works better, but the wipe can still damage the plastic layer. Oh, I didn't use alcohol at all. Yeah, even though actually I bought a whole bunch of alcohol, not the drinking kind, but I bought like 99% alcohol and 90% alcohol, I believe, because of the resin stuff. I do have some resin that are not water-based, which I hate, but you know, it came free in a lot of sense, so I kind of want to use it and not let it go to waste. But I hate that I have to do that, though. I guess we can go ahead and kind of do the dreadnought, might as well. So we get large portions in the little tiny areas that are not gonna, I guess like that purity seal, it's not gonna get touched very often. You need to varnish in areas that are very high touch, I guess you could say, high touch areas. but I want to make sure I don't waste the what you call it that I have laid out there already, even though I have a lot of it. I didn't realize they had the ultra matte varnish though. And any areas that are missing paint, I could just touch up a little bit later, because you can always paint over varnish anyway. But I got to get rid of the foam. I think the foam may not dry clear. I have to make sure I get that really well off. Makeup brush are not bad. One check it doesn't melt or should not cutting. Well, like honestly, makeup brushes as a like a dry brush is amazing. I've seen a few people use makeup brushes for that dry brushing. I actually bought some dry brush, dry brushing brush, but I haven't used it yet because don't know why. But I need to for sure. I would love to paint dry brush, honestly. I think it's a fantastic technique. We paint it, base coat it black, and then dry brush white, and then you get like contrast paints, or like again, maybe my technique might work on there. I'm not sure. I'm thinking so. That's the reason why I want to learn how to do it, because my technique, I'd hope that would work. It makes sense that it would work. It's thin down paint essentially, and with the dark and the light, hopefully you can see the paint kind of have that transition. There's a person at the shop that does a lot of dry brushing. That's what how he exclusively paint, and he speed paints like through his models, and they look really good. But you can really see it's kind of messy, but overall looks good because he just exclusively dry brushes his painting technique and doesn't really per se clean it up. If you know what I mean by that. Okay. After this, we're going to do some test painting a little bit while these dry up. Nice. Make sure you get all that bubbles off. That's one thing, I don't know whether it's the brushing or what I could do to prevent the bubbles from happening, but I don't know if I can or cannot. I have a feeling it's just part of brushing it on there. Move them out so I don't touch them and I get some room. Alright. Alright. Okay. Let's see if we can move these out the way. It should be fairly dry now. Nice, it is. Now they look like Ultramarine tanks because they're so ultra blue. Okay. Alright, perfect. Now let's see about... I'm doing a little bit of testing. Or maybe a lot of bit of testing, I'm not sure. So I want to see if I can't get that blue to work. Bit nice not to have to do any kind of... Oh, did I put some... Oh, I did. Let's see. So this is Blue Wash from Vallejo. If it will... There we go, Blue Wash. Let's see how that looks. Alright. Let me grab some small models too. These are models that I've already pre-painted, so like I base coated them and then I painted them and then I base coated them again. I want to get the different kinds of, so you can see the, hopefully, it's the darker one I believe. Okay. I don't know what I want to use for just mass painting, I suppose. But this one's for the tiny models. So I'm going to try this Blue Wash on the smoke mirrors or something like that. I don't think you're supposed to use a wash as a paint, but who says you can't? Just want to see if it'll actually stick to the model as opposed to just completely dripping. Okay, not too bad. Try with the silver. Looks like you can really see the silver. If we were to use a wash as a painting. But it's more for just like metal that I would use this for. And then clothes and all that would be a bit different. So let's move this guy there. Okay. Well, for the big model, I don't think there's really much I can do. Just put it over here. Let's just see how it handles. That actually doesn't look too bad. Let's do half the shoulder pad actually. So it's a little bit of a bigger surface area. Doesn't look too bad. Let's do the darker one. I can still, there's still some blue on him. Hello. Oh, what was that paint? I do actually want to try to do some freehanding, but that's just to make them like Iron Hands. And right now I'm just using their bodies as a way to test out the paint. Although I shouldn't, because I should be using these as my actual models. Because this ain't exactly easy to print. I should be only using the little guys. What the heck is that? Huh, that's weird. So, wash, not that great. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Your own armature, as in like design? Yeah, wash, no bueno. Now this is the blue that I actually want to paint my 012 models. But I want to dilute it a lot. Let's see. Okay, it looks like that mixed out perfectly. Let's see. Oh, did you see the I don't know why you posted it in general chat, but what Messi Des Minis posted is what actually he won second place on in a painting competition. That is actually looking really good. That is actually looking really good. I need to, well, yeah, that leg is looking really good. Alright, you can't really see it. If it would focus, please. Yeah, it doesn't look good on camera, but it looks good in real life. So, let's try the silver. Silver looking good as well. Yeah, he won second place with that image, with that Castella. I believe it's yeah, the Castellan knight. A lot of people said he should have won first. Yes. He was yeah, Howling's Moving Castle, yeah. Oh, well, we'll just paint that mistake too with it. Let's see. Yeah, the paint still retracts from this one. Pretty bad too. So I'm not sure how to beat that exactly. Hmm. So you can see it retracting from the edges a little bit too much. Maybe I diluted the paint a little bit too much. Maybe it's too much of a wide surface that it doesn't really, can't really stick. How is that? Well, that one looks like it's doing a better job at sticking. This is the silver too. Well, we'll see once we paint the entire area. Howling's Moving Castle. Well, the paint is holding up a bit better, but it's all dripping down. It's maybe too fluidy, perhaps. Hmm. So, do I thicken it up? Let's see if this will do the trick. Because I do like that. It's kind of thin and it shows through. Man, it's going to be hard to get this mixture right once I find the right one. It's like, alright, it's like about 16 drops of these and 5 drops of that, and outside of that, I have no idea. Ooh, it's diluting the blue a bit. There we go. Okay, let's see how this does. On a flat surface. Very interesting. It is holding very well now. I mean, it's still dripping, of course, but the paint is actually holding those areas. Information is bad. I need to go soon, but I'll see you tomorrow. And remember to stay strong. Strong for what? All right, man. Take it easy. What was that, Francois? That's looking pretty good, although the color has changed a bit much. It's really, really nice looking. It's just the color, it's not as deep. Let me add a drop off the original color. Boop, maybe 2 drops. There we go, okay, 2 drops. Is it possible to get this paint to work the way I want it to? It's looking like it, it's getting closer to it. But now how do I assemble it that way? I'm just gonna have to figure it out from the scratch, but at least I know it works. Okay. Maybe I should do this with the Ultramarines blue as well. See how that looks if I thin it enough. Okay. Let's see how this one works. I wonder if it's not sticking. All I added was a bit more color. So is it the spray paint that's actually doing something? Let's try the other. And see if this one will stick to. If it does stick, that means something, definitely something with the spray paint. Yep, it's the spray paint, because that is beautiful. That is very, very beautiful. That stuck really well. Who, James? Or me? I mean, I'm always quiet. If you're hearing me talk, man, I think you're might be smoking something. That is really nice. So it seems to struggle to stick to that. Why? Let's try again with the other side, maybe. Nope, it's still struggling. Kind of feel it retracting a little bit. Yeah, you can see it retracting right there. You can't really see it. There, you can see it now. There's a little bit of a retraction in that little silver line there. If I paint over it, where it's all blue, let's see if it'll retract. Yep, we can see a little bit. My volume's lower than normal? It's been always the same. I don't think I've changed my volume. Maybe my talking, maybe. I don't know. Are you sure your hearing's not being lost there, old man? Or you didn't turn me down? Huh. So that lets me know that I think the darker shades might be a little bit better. Let's try the minis. See how it works. Not too bad. And then for this one, this is a silver. It struggled there for a second. And it's retracting again. Retracting. Yeah, so the silver just seems to retract the colors. This one doesn't look like as much. There's some retraction, but not compared to this. Let's try for the head. Should have gone for the head. That's a silver. I did put a lot. Let's try here. There was some retraction there. There's retraction there. There's retraction there and there. I don't know. The darker silver one does seem to retract less. But man. Let me grab one model and give it a try. This is an official model, and it's one I don't really care for, honestly. But it's one I guess I could kind of test, I think. Yeah, it's not really sticking. You see it kind of pulling away. Yep. See if I could just wipe it off real quick before it dries up too much. And then it's not good. It is retracting quite a bit. I wonder if I just do regular solid color. I kind of want that kind of semi-clear coat, that clear see-through-ness. Yeah, like this is so, it's really nice. That is really, really nice. I can't really see it. Yeah, I can't, I mean, oh, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't look at, well, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good. Looks close to the real life thing. When you're looking at, yeah, it looks really good. It's like a blue tint. I guess that's what it is, essentially. It's a blue tint on the model. And it allows the silver underlying, the silver base coat to kind of shine through it. Okay, well, this kind of works. That's not too bad, actually. Not, it doesn't look as good, but it's the best I can get so far. Let me try Ultramarines blue. Um, let's see. Oop. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to do too many Ultramarines blue color on models, just because I already have an Ultramarines blue army. That muscle fiber looks really cool. Alright, that blue doesn't look as good as the paleo, but that is gauche, and that is basic, and that basic looks wonderful. The gauche, not so much. It looks not patchy, but thick in a lot of areas. Let me try Ultramarines in the basic form, although it's not quite in its pure form because I had to mix it with something because it's in this gigantic jug. So I had to put a lot of what do you call it? Flow aid, so that it can actually flow because it's becoming chunky. Okay, drop, drop. There we go. So this is Liquitex Ultramarines Basic. Let's see how well that looks. Oh shit. Okay. Let's thin this down. This is the basic. Nowhere near as good as that. At least it looks smoother compared to the gauche. Gauche looks rough for some odd reason. So, hmm. I wonder if I can paint over it now. Just gonna make it darker for sure. But that does make it smooth it over. Wow. Alright, I really like that. Okay, that works. Well, I've got my color now. Although that arm is gonna that arm is really blue comparatively if it folks there goes. There's that arm, then there's the other arm. Let's see. Let's paint the other arm up a bit more. Okay. Almost done with this one arm. There we go. Alright, so yeah, you have this one arm that's now painted Ultramarines Gauche, Ultramarines Basic, and then the Plato Basic, compared to the other arm, which is just Plato Basic, which really looks good. The undercoating really shines through. It's not really showing on the camera very well, but it looks really nice. It's like a, again, like I said, it's like there's that tint of blue, and then the what you call the base coat primer of the silver. And I'm gonna leave that arm like that and say that he he picked it up on the way. It's like he assembled himself slightly from a different model. He just attached it to himself. So I do need to paint more blue though on him. Alright, so this is gonna work. I'm happy, very, very happy. Now I could probably paint the big guy. The big guy. Goshen basic. Let's see what happens if we mix those two. Hopefully the worlds don't blow. Okay. Might have been hard to spray paint this area here. These are tiny, tiny freaking models, and they're what you call it, hard to get underneath certain areas to spray paint. That looks so cool. I really like that color. Okay. Don't know if I can. I don't know if I can speed paint this. So every model has to be meticulously painted to to a degree, which it's gonna suck a little bit just because there's a few models that I need to paint, quite a few, but it doesn't seem to be too bad. Paint's going under quite well, and I just need to make sure I paint thin coat through all of them, and then go back over with the actual colors they should be. Majority of it's going to be this Plato or whatever it's called blue. Alright, looking pretty good. Guess this could be my kind of my first test subject in terms of how I'm going to paint my O12 army. So I'm going to paint it all this one color, and then after that determine what I want to paint the rest of the model. Unless there's some clear sign that says this is going to be a different color, I'm just going to paint it all this color anyway. Make sure I get every square inch this Plato color. It's kind of, there's like a lot of crevices that's amazingly the paint can't really get to too easily. I have to really, really focus on those areas. There we go. Don't want to paint too much because it'll darken up the color. You need to keep it light and thin. Ugh. Let me do a little bit more testing. we get a new model actually. So let's do this model. That's the dark, that's the dark, that's the dark. This is the light, this is the light, and this is the light. Okay. So I need another dark model. Alright. Let's get my speed paintbrush. Let's see if we can't speed paint. It'll make things a lot easier. If I can just do that. But perhaps start all over with the actual paint though, instead of using this pre-mixed stuff to see what it looks like. So after I get majority of the paint on this model, then I can go back over what needs to be a different color. Because the model will be majority this color anyway, and it's kind of a thin paint, so it should work out in the end. You kind of already get some of that kind of quote-unquote edge highlighting going on, but that's not the right color actually. I mean, it's the right color, but not the right mixture. So let me try this one here. See if I can get that same effect. A very thin blue, so that it looks like just a tint. Like that. Actually, the cape looks very much like the tint, because it's such a thin color. Or not much paint on that brush at the time. Just keep brushing. Is that going to be thin enough? Or is it going to be looking a little bit different? It is looking a little different, but it could be because of a different spray paint. This is a bit of a different silver. Let's see if I can't use the same technique on this model. That one with the cape looks like a helldiver. What? You're delusional. That guy? If it focus. Hold on. Let me finish up this guy first. Man, do you got Helldivers 2 on your mind or something? Man, all these crevices are kind of hard to get to. Hmm. Using a lot of paint just to try to get these crevices. You can see there's a definite silver shine there. But even the many brush strokes, it still doesn't seem to... There we go. It's getting there. Let's see how this model looks. There is a bit of a difference. Although one side looks darker than the other, strangely. What does it say? How do you use? How do you use this lowercase? Hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm saying this guy, this guy, well. Oops, he kind of fell out of my grip there. Or maybe even this guy. Uh, it is supposed to be of Helldivers. Cause I don't think I don't have their other stuff on me. I don't think. Hmm. So there's this one guy that made a lot of the Helldiver stuff, especially when it first came out. Obviously, they're not called Helldivers, and they have the evac towers. They have the SOS beacon. They have all of that too. I don't have any of them here. I thought I could have sworn I would have had at least one. Huh. Strange. Could have sworn I would have at least had one. So I did print out some, but I don't know where I put them. Fancy that. Well, anyways, you're gonna have to trust me on that one. Oh wait, I might see where I put at least one or two actually. Let me grab this one and this one. Okay. So here's the other things I printed from them. So that looks like either a hell bomb, but I think it's more of the SOS beacon because it doesn't have the panel on it. And then this is the evacuation antenna. There's the panel. I haven't painted it or anything. So not quite ODS. Not Halo. So did the mask painting work? I don't know. I think I have to paint them individually. Or as opposed to mass painting like I like to do. I think I want to paint these painstakingly with a small brush so it gets that nice even coating and the kind of coating I like where it's kind of see-through, whereas these are a little bit more thick and it's not quite a see-through. Luckily enough, it's in a model that I don't really care about and I don't know if I'll ever use them. Actually, I was. So I put a lot of them away actually. So he has the rifle, he has the SMG, the missile launcher, that's the grenade launcher, the pistol. Let's see. I think that's it. Let me take a look at the others. Yeah, I think that's it for them. So, oh, I did buy one where he's the stationary turret. I have that too. I haven't printed it out yet. So you have the rifle, SMG, missile launcher, grenade launcher, and pistol. There's a couple of more actually where he has the specialty helmet, like the horn kind of helmet, horn-like helmet, and I want to print that out too, but I haven't yet. I was gonna use them as like a Infinity army, have a whole bunch of Hell Divers and Infinity. This is silver, silver. This one's base coated white. This one is the dark. This is silver. All right, yeah, that really looks nice. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Not as good though. So I don't need these models anymore. They're just taking up a lot of room. We're gonna put them on the floor. All right, room. I think that all the testing I need is done for at least the my Infinity O12 models. I just don't know what yellow am I going to use. Oops. And I do, like I said, yeah, I do want to make a Helldivers. Let's see how this works. With one that's already been painted like I would normally do. Let's see if the yellow will be able to cover it, no problems. Might have problems though. Yellow, semi-transparent I believe. Yeah, semi-transparent. Let's just see how the coverage looks. I mean, that blue and yellow looks pretty nice. Come on, you can do it. Not bad, not bad. So the yellow cover's decent, but it's not quite opaque enough, but that might just require second coating. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's very streaky. Again, that might be because the acrylic gouache, which I probably shouldn't have gone with. Whenever I was doing research, they say gouache is a very heavy pigmented thing and it has auto leveling. But the basics are a little bit cheaper, or a lot cheaper actually, and they do just as good of a job, and they're a bit smoother. They're not quite as thick. Okay, so the yellows looks like it's gonna work out all right. I don't know if the other yellow is gonna work though. Let's see. Let's see how the other yellow works. So the Vallejo Yellow Sun, I believe this is. It's about a day old paint, so it might not. Yeah, it's absorbing way too much. Mm, it's not too bad, but it might be a bit too diluted, so it looks a little bit lighter than it actually is. That yellow looks like, I don't know, like a thick yellow, I suppose. A heavy yellow color. Well, anyways, actually, I gotta pause you right here. I try to stream every day around 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and try to stream for at least an hour. Working on my Ultramarines at the moment. Then I'm gonna be working on my Infinity, my Tau, my MCP, my Underworlds, and I don't know what else. Like a lot of stuff I gotta paint. So nice. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down, down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.